I need to congeal some wayward thoughts on games that I haven't played enough to review and aren't likely to, like Stronghold 3, which is fitting for Halloween because it's scarily poor, beginning with a suitably hideous and terrifying texture seam in the tutorial, a tutorial that incidentally instructs me to click on buttons that aren't there until you hit other buttons first. Although the seam disappeared after restarting the game, it was a bad omen. The military and economic campaigns are introduced with illustrated narratives, but then the gameplay demonstrates a lack of any meaningful evolution from the first outing 11 years ago, and if anything it feels worse to play. The graphics are only adequate, successful at communicating the presence of trees and buildings, perhaps passable for a game 4 years older than this is. The military campaign has a particularly miserable start, fancying itself as something of an isometric RPG as the protagonist and 5 guards flee their castle very slowly, and awkwardly stand around while you try to target the enemies who don't seem to be inhibited by the same blindness that affects your characters. This is a really lazy effort from Firefly Studios, who seem content to rest on their laurels laid by the original Stronghold. The laurels are rotten and wilted, Firefly. The graphics and gameplay have stagnated similarly to what I remember of the original Might and Magic series. 3DO kept re-releasing Might and Magic 6 with bigger numerals until everyone stopped buying their games. And that brings me on to Might and Magic Heroes 6, another series that can't bear to imagine how to evolve its gameplay. Recent Heroes developments have fixated on graphics and little else, leading to sequels that have similar gameplay hooks but don't have anything of substance to lure you away from your copy of Heroes of Might and Magic 3, especially the Wake of the Gods expansion. Gameplay evolution requires direction, and I don't think faffing with the skill system was helpful here. The basic, advanced, expert and master levels for skills of previous games were simple to follow and to apply. What we have now is a baffling web of unrelated skills that, on the face of it, do very little when compared to the skills of yore. And now you need to spend skill points to upgrade specific spells instead of schools of magic, so the Mages Guild is done for. I suppose balancing skills is easier when they don't do much. I don't think I've ever played the Heroes of Might and Magic franchise properly, though. I'll admit it, I've never played the campaigns, not because I don't care about the lore of Arathia, which I don't, but because I detest experience level caps and restarting my progress for each map. Instead, I seek out massive player-made maps that take 20 hours apiece to complete. I squealed when King's Bounty actually had the sense to hold its entire campaign in one expansive level, although it sorely lacked the implementation of town management or wandering enemy AI. In any case, I don't think that the joy of the Heroes of Might and Magic franchise is underpinned by its storytelling. To my mind, I don't know if you agree, the games are about imaginative beastries, town construction, hero development, tactical battles, and exploration. Story doesn't much come into it except within the narrative that is communicated passively and interactively through the environments. Perhaps I'm uncontrollably biased, that's why this isn't a proper review. Every time I try to sit down with a new Heroes iteration, I can't help but dream that the last 13 years, instead of being wasted on making 3 inconsequential games, were spent on enhancements to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. New units, new unit upgrades, new buildings, new factions, new music, enterable locales, single map campaigns, diplomacy, trade, sabotage, achievements, dandelion. But we can all dream. The reality is that we'll be presented with the same graphically updated and slightly tweaked rehash every few years until Ubisoft stops strangling the series. At least I can run Heroes of Might and Magic 3 on a netbook and play it while travelling, Uplay. Bastion, with fantastic narration by Logan Cunningham and an attractive art style, which I keep delaying, will have to wait longer, because I'm conserving my gaming appetite for the feast ahead.